Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me today. This is another one of those late night design sessions. It is fallback night, so really it's not 12:45, it's 11:45. And I started stringing up a bracelet using the Gingerbread Cottage Bead Mix from JJB Beads. This is one of their new mixes included in the JJB Boutique Winter Collection. I recorded a reveal and posted it, and it also includes a mega mix and a bead strand in evergreen that is gorgeous. So if you want to see that reveal in its entirety, go ahead and check out the link in the description below for that reveal. During that reveal, I made an impromptu pair of earrings using some of the beads from this same mix. And so then I thought that I would go ahead and just kind of continue on, and I started stringing up a bracelet. And I just love mixing the metals. We have the gold, we have the silver, we have this little bronze gingerbread color. And so I thought I would put something together using those beads. Then we're gonna make a couple of dangles. I have some extra components that are gonna be just left over, and I might use them using the other bead mix. I do have a little pile here of some beads that are extra. We're gonna make another pair of earrings. And these, I'm into these loops right now. And I just did another video for another channel using those loops, and I just really like it. And they're easy to make, and it just makes it to where if you don't have, for example, if you don't have a quick link, I was going to use a quick link. Well, not everybody has a quick link on hand. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to make our own links for the bracelet, and then also too for our charms and our little dangles to hang from. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use some 2x2 crimp tubes. And these are from Softlex. And I didn't have them out, and I have an extra air wire or wire guardian in there. We're also going to be using champagne. I love this color. Obviously, I'm almost out. And I love this color. I saw this color, Nile used it. Nile Patel from Silver Silk used it. And I thought, oh, I really need that. And so I absolutely love it. So we're going to use that. I'm going to bring in some wire guardians. I made some little tiny jump rings using some of the 18 gauge craft wire from Softlex. And I have a couple of their jump rings. Their jump rings are amazing. You hardly can tell where the slit is. And then when you close it off, you can't even see where the slit is. So we might use a couple of those. So the first thing I want to do is I want to string this up off of my scrap piece of wire and go ahead and get that strung up on this one here. And I am going to be working from the spool. So I am just going to be actually taking off from one and putting onto another. And oh, these beads are so pretty and so easy to just string up, put together, and you have yourself some projects. So out of this mini mix, I'm going to have, because I think I'm going to make a bracelet out of the other beads that we have left over. So then I will have 2 bracelets, and we're going to make a pair of earrings. So we have 2 pairs of earrings. So that's pretty good out of a, it's kind of like a mini mix. And what else are we going to do? That's about it. I do have, like I said, I have that mega mix that I need to use. And so I will be putting that to good use. And what else are we going to do? We're going to work on that strand too. So pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these all strung up. How many of you have bought from the new JJB Winter Boutique? I did have a couple of people say, you just motivated me to go buy to go buy that strand, and so they bought the strand. And then my friend Vicky that I told you guys about in the last video, she's doing well. I've heard from her, and I'm not bugging her because I don't want to bug her. And sounds like she's doing well. Okay, so we're just going to continue stringing. I'm going to keep you on here just because, I mean, I know it's just stringing, but so you can see everything. And what else? Oh, who signed up for Winter Workshop? I cannot wait. It's already November and it's time for Winter Workshop. I think it starts in a week or so, week or two, maybe a week. It's already the 4th of November. I think it starts the 11th or 12th. And let's see here. Oh man, how did I have it? I felt like I had 2 together. Did I not have 2 together? I feel like I did, but maybe not. Now I can't remember. That's okay. Because I was just kind of stringing. And I just thought of, again, the clasp, making a cute little, not a clasp, but the ring. And that's what we try to do. We try to come up with stuff that we can just make so that if we don't have exactly, not everybody has a quick link, so you can use a quick link if you want. If you don't have one, you can follow what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. Okay, so again, I am just stringing. Okay, and here's what we have. I think that's pretty much how it was. I feel like it was. All right. So the first thing that I need to do, oops, sorry about that. So your tools, we're going to use a six-stepper. We're going to use some chain nose pliers. These are bent. Some flush cutters, round nose pliers, regular chain nose pliers, and then I have some little needle nose ones, and then we're going to be using a standard crimping tool. All right, so let's go ahead and add our 2x2 crimp tube. Obviously, I haven't thought it totally completely out. And then we're going to use the wire guardians. I love the wire guardians, and I can see to get them through. Wire guardians do protect so that you don't have your wire going up against metal, and then also too, I'm not going to add my lobster clasp directly to my stringing wire, and here's why. What if the lobster clasp happens to start to malfunction? Well, then you have to take the whole thing apart. I don't want to do that. All right, so let's make sure our wires are not crossing. Let's go ahead and add our crimp tube to that back notch and give it a little bit of a squeeze, and it separates them. If you can see, it's all separated. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it on its side and close it off. Give it the tug test. I usually put my fingernails, and then my fingernails get all torn up. They get really torn up. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our scrap over there. And then bring this to the end. All right. Then I think I'm going to, yes, I'm going to go ahead and seal this off because I can always attach directly. All right, so now I don't want a stiff bracelet, so I will usually just kind of keep it in a horseshoe shape, and then go ahead and add my my wire guardian. So I added my crimp tube, then my wire guardian, and I'm going to pass it back through the other side of the wire guardian, making sure that my wire goes through and sits in the groove of that top part of the wire guardian. We're going to pass our wire back through. So our tail is going to go back through the crimp tube, and then we're going to go ahead and bring that all up. Okay. Then I'm going to just I like to close it off a little bit. For me, I just feel like it gives me a little bit more room. All right, so I want it to be able to bend, and it's kind of a little stiff. I don't want wire to show, but I don't want slack, but I also don't want a stiff bracelet. So there we go. Make sure our wires are not crossing and give it a crimp. And then close it up. And when I do this, you can see wire. However, though, when I bundle it up, how it's going to sit on your wrist, you're not going to have wire. Let's go ahead and come in. I want to get that as close as possible without trimming the other side. Okay, so there we go. Now on one side, we are going to have our lobster clasp, and let me grab, and again, I just made these jump rings up using the 18 gauge, and that they're really, really, really tough. Okay, and now let's go ahead and flip this over and being very careful and bringing that in. Nothing is going through there, but I do want it to, I do want it to be a little bit more snug. Okay, so now we need something to connect it to, right? And I'm not going to do a jump ring, but what I am going to do is I am going to make like a quick link, sort of ish. And so we're going to go ahead and grab my 18 gauge wire. And I am going to, I need to get it a little bit straight. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut off maybe, I don't know, that's probably about 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and make like an eye pin. Okay. And it's going to be very secure because it is 18 gauge. Let's go like so. It's kind of a wonky, I don't know how I got that so wonky. There we go. All right, so I just went ahead and just made a little bit of an eye pin. Then what I want to do is, this is going to sit this way. Let's see the orientation of this. So it's going to go like this. That's going to sit that way. So now what I want to do is I want to make a wrap loop, but I want the loop is going this way. I want it to go the opposite way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come in, and this is 18 gauge. So I need it to sit up a little bit so I can get those 3 wraps in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to bring in our stepper. And I'm going to go in maybe the second to last loop. Maybe the last one. We'll go in the last one. And then I'm just going to form that over. Okay. Then I'm going to rotate. I'm going to bring to the back. And then I'm just going to get this all nice and straight. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's grab these guys because it is tough and I want to get a good grip. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap once, twice, and one. I don't want to use pliers. There we go. Okay, so it's probably totally off camera. All right, so now we have our link. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim. Let's see. So that's going to be the back. Yep, so there we go. That's a good size. I'm going to keep that because that's a good size to have. And let's go ahead and tuck that in just like so. All right, so now we have a nice link. Let's make sure it's all straight. And it is. It's good and straight. All right, so we are going to do that. We're going to connect right there. But before we do that, we want to add our dangles. But I think I'm going to add, some of the dangles over here off of that. If I can, I made this loop so small. I think I can add some dangles on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our dangles. And all I did for this one was added one of those little frosted, not frosted, but kind of cloudy little tiny beads, one of those spacers, and then another cloudy bead. And I'm going to come in, and I don't want to break them, so I'm going to come in a little bit off of the tippy tip, give it a bend, come in here, form over, rotate, push to the back. Okay, then let's just go ahead and get this all wrapped up. We're going to move that over. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap once, twice, and then a third time. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a trim. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that here while I just tuck in that little piece there. And it's a little wonky, it's a little off-centered, so I'm going to go ahead and just center it. And all I'm going to do is just add my chain nose pliers in there and just kind of rotate it a little bit. It's not perfect. All right, so now we're going to add our second one. And our second one is just one of the little white beads and a red one. We're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to form that over, rotate, and there we are. This one's going to be much better. And then lock that in. And then here we go. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. I try to stay consistent and always do 3 times. And it didn't always work that way. So when I was new, because I would not pay attention to where I was putting my chain nose pliers when I was making my bend. And yeah, so not always consistent. But okay, so we have a couple of dangles. So we're going to go ahead and add our dangles, and we're going to try and get them over here on this side. The reason why is because I don't want to have to fight with the dangles over on this other side. So let's go ahead and do that one and close it off. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is take this one and add one of my little tiny jump rings I made. So I'm going to add one of my little tiny jump rings. Oops. Let's go ahead and do that. I think that one jump ring is going to be a little... I'm thinking, and I don't like opening up jump rings a bunch, I'm thinking that I need to actually switch that and have the larger one. Much better. Have the larger one and then add the little ones to the larger one. And I could have very easily just added them on there, but I want them to kind of dangle, move around. Okay, get that in there nice and well. And then we'll get the other one. And then what we'll do is we will add the charm on the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that closed off. That's not really closed off very well. There we go. Okay, so we have a little bit of a dangle on that side. Then what we're going to do is we are going to grab another, I want this one because I want it to dangle. It's hard for me to see where the split is. So we are going to go ahead and do this. We'll add that. I love these jump rings. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to open this guy up to attach him. But we're going to attach this guy first. And then we'll add that. Oops. I'll go ahead and add that, and then we will close it up. Like I said, well, actually, and honest to goodness, I couldn't find, I'm going to go ahead and just close that up. I couldn't find my quick links. That's why I couldn't use them. I know I have some. All right. So then I just made up my own. All right. So here we have just a cute little bracelet. And again, I didn't put all of the, stuff in with the, with here, just because I don't want to you don't want to have to fight it. You don't want to have to fight adding your clasp. Okay, so here we have our little bracelet. We have our little dangles dangling down. And again, I added the extra jump rings so that they would have a little bit more dangle. Kind of cute, huh? I just love that gingerbread house. And let me see how big this is. It's about 6 3/4. So perfect for me. All right, so now let's go ahead and make up let's get rid of some of this stuff because we're not going to use this. Because we're not going to use those. We're not going to use these. The scraps, I will keep those. This one I will keep because it's long enough. Okay, so now we're going to make these little earrings. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this is 22 gauge German style wire. And I'm going to use the stepper because I used the stepper in that one. And what we're going to do, let's get rid of some of this other stuff here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do the top. So we're going to do the top, we're going to add our bead, and then we're going to do this down here at the bottom. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come down a little bit more than normal. So I'm going to come down probably about 1.5 inches or so. I should probably straighten that out a little bit. Let's straighten it out a little. Okay. Then I used the third step. So I used the third step for this part here. And then push to the back and bring that nice and centered. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and come here, and then we are going to go ahead and wrap 3 times around. So we're going to go once, twice, and one last third time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim. Put our scraps off to the side. I like having a bead up against when I'm going to tuck that in, but I can't on this one. So I don't want to crush the glass. Okay, so there we have our wire wrap loop. Now we're going to go ahead and put this guy on. Okay, and you can get yourself all straightened out however you wish. Now what we're going to do is, this is 22 gauge wire. Now I don't want to be at the very tippy tip, but I'm going to be pretty close to the tippy tip. Give it that bend. Then I'm going to use the largest step on here, and I'm going to get it as close as I can. I'm going to form over. Okay, I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to push to the back, and I'm way off. Okay, so now there I have my loop. Okay, now what I want to do is I need to add my little beads. So I'm going to add a red, a green, a red, and then one of these kind of white beads. Then we're going to do another red. Oops. We're going to do another red, another green, and another red. Okay, so there we have that. So you just want to make sure that your beads are all down and out of the way. Okay, so we have an extra that. So now you're going to see why having these kind of needle nose will come in handy, because I don't want it to sit on top of my beads. Okay, so I just locked it in place, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to go around once, twice, 3 times. Okay, then before I'm done, let's get it there. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go once, oops, twice, and then I'm just going to get this. I totally shook. Oops. Now let's go ahead and bring that. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of force it. I'm really holding on. Do cut a longer piece than what I had. I just pull from the spool. And then now let's just form that around. Get that going around. I think I did it. There we go. All right. I did it. Yay. Then just make sure that your loops are going in the right direction. And then open up your little ear wire. So open up my little ear wire here. And then we also have a little pair of earrings. And wasn't that quick? That was really quick. And so here are our earrings. Cute. And I just love it. And they dangle really well off the ear. I love having that little pop of that white. So then we have those earrings. We have these earrings. We have a bracelet. So far. Now, if you want to make it a little bit shorter, you can take out like one of those. If you take out one of those, or these two white beads, you can cut down maybe 1/4 inch, maybe 1/4 inch. But there you go. And we still have a little bit left. I think I'm going to make a bracelet using the rest here. I might pop that green and that one white into another project. And we are using the Gingerbread Cottage Design Elements Bead Mix from JJB Beads, part of their JJB Boutique winter collection. So please give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment. I love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.